When you think of Georgia, the first city that comes to mind is Tbilisi, its capital, closely followed by Batumi. Batumi, the capital of the independent Republic of Adjara, has a stunning Black Sea shoreline and is referred to as the Las Vegas of the Black Sea. When visiting Batumi, you can spot the blue and white striped flags of the Adjara Autonomous Republic alongside the Georgian flags. Batumi is a crucial place for land crossings between Georgia and Turkey because it is barely 20 kilometers from the Turkish border. Without a passport, Turkish nationals can enter Georgia and Batumi with just their identity cards. The ethnic roots of Batumi and the Turkish towns along the Black Sea coast are comparable. Therefore, if you travel to Turkish cities like Trabzon, Arhavi, or Rize, you'll notice that the locals' face characteristics are quite similar to those of Batumi natives. People in this area frequently have strong cheekbones and jaw lines, long, pointed noses, and broad foreheads. This resemblance might be linked to the historical impact of the Laz people who lived in the region in antiquity and the Lazica Empire. Georgian areas were administered by Russia in the 19th century, which separated them from Turkish culture and brought them closer to Russian influences, despite the Ottoman Empire having dominated this area for centuries. Georgia shifted its attention to Batumi following the Soviet invasion in 1921. In the same year, Turkey and Georgia came to an agreement to hand over ownership of Batumi to Georgia. Batumi has stayed apart from Turkey for the last 100 years. However, for maritime commerce with Turkey, Turkish ships do not pay taxes at Batumi's ports. The substantial Turkish community in Batumi, as well as the Slavs who have moved from Russia and Ukraine, must be considered. Today's Batumi culture, however, is more in line with Russian culture than Turkish culture. While inhabitants of Turkey's neighboring Black Sea coast are often more devout and abstain from pork, the bulk of the population is Orthodox Christian. Despite being outlawed in Turkey, casinos remain a significant source of revenue in Batumi. In spite of this, Georgians and Turks continue to work closely together to promote trade and tourism in the city. In Batumi, there are even areas where exclusively Turks live. The food offered in these Turkish areas is unique to Turkish cuisine, and store signage is written in Turkish. As a result, Turkish and Arab clients make up the bulk of these companies' clientele. For example, you can have a substantial breakfast plate with a large omelette for around €4 at a Turkish bakery. The population of Batumi is currently thought to be approximately 200,000. Known as the Black Sea vacation destination, Batumi is well liked by Georgians and is undergoing major building projects. A visitor to Batumi 10 years ago will notice significant architectural changes if they return today. Batumi is a commercial port city that shows remnants of Russian, European, and Ottoman architecture, partly due to its past under Soviet Russia's government from 1921 to 1991. There are a lot of Soviet-style residential structures in Batumi. Moving uphill from the coastal regions, you will come across Soviet structures that are at least 40 years old and still inhabited. High-rise buildings and single-family dwellings make up the majority of the more recent construction. When viewed from above, several of these structures have a rectangular plan since they are built side by side with a courtyard in the center. Many of these apartment complexes have dilapidated interiors. Even though there aren't many earthquakes in the Black Sea area, these buildings' exteriors and stairs exhibit deterioration. Living conditions in the city's interior are noticeably poor, even though it competes with locations like Dubai and Las Vegas, especially in its beach sections. The Ali and Nino monument adjacent to the beach's Ferris wheel is one of the most recognizable buildings in Batumi's advertising. The literature that depicts the love between an Azerbaijani lad and a Christian Georgian girl who are unable to be together served as the inspiration for this statue. But in the end, these dynamic sculptures come together, signifying their unity. Numerous additional architectural marvels can be found in Batumi, such as the well-known Nicholas Cathedral, Piazza Square, and the Clock Tower. While some of these structures are part of renowned hotel and casino corporations, others have artistic value. Vibrant structures that are lit up at night are probably casinos. These charming designs radiate luxury and are frequently paired with pricey vehicles. You'll note that many individuals in Batumi drive high-end German and Japanese vehicles, with Lexus standing in for Japanese luxury and Mercedes and Porsche being the most popular German brands. Despite the poor pay in the nation, many people may easily purchase these cars due to the substantial purchasing power. Batumi is distinguished by its cobblestone streets, which add to the city's elegant European ambience and improve its aesthetic appeal. People are frequently seen sipping Georgian wine along these charming streets. Georgia is well known for its lush vineyards that yield excellent yet reasonably priced wines. These wines, especially those from the country's interior, are transporting to well-known tourist locations like Batumi so that tourists may enjoy them. Similar to Tbilisi, Khachapuri and Culinary are frequently the first local culinary options for visitors to Batumi, particularly for those who have already experienced these delicacies. Local fishermen capture fresh seafood from the Black Sea, which is preferred by many restaurants in the city. While visitors frequently opt to enjoy freshly prepared fish meals in the city's restaurants, residents usually purchase raw fish from the markets to cook at home. There is no reason to be concerned about the pricing. You should budget no more than €25 per person for a supper and soft drinks, even at restaurants that are above average. Batumi is among the world's most cheaply priced tourist spots if you're searching for inexpensive fish meals. But keep in mind that the weather isn't constantly sunny and nice all year round if you're thinking about moving there permanently. Because of its position, Batumi suffers rain and usually cloudy skies for more than half the year. Conversely, Batumi is an excellent location to meet some Slavic folks if you want to do so without going to Russia or Ukraine. There are plenty of amiable people, and if you approach those who are by themselves, you'll probably find them willing to talk. Please be aware, though, that this is not investment advice. Almost everyone you meet in Batumi has blonde hair and blue eyes. A large number of these people are probably Ukrainian or Russian. Given the regular display of Ukrainian flags in the city's squares and the activities these people have done on behalf of their nation, I think they are mostly Ukrainian. Furthermore, it seems that married couples with kids make up the majority of Slavs that travel to Batumi. I saw a lot of families with kids and strollers when I was there. Even if it might not be apparent at first, the sheer number of families in the city becomes apparent after 2 or 3 days of exploration. In fact, there are so many kids in Batumi that some get free instruction in chess and backgammon, while others take part in educational events in the parks. Batumi does not have the same problem as Tbilisi, which has a serious problem with thousands of stray street dogs because the city mostly serves affluent residents. Most dogs you see on the streets and in parks are leashed and accompanied by their owners. There is a significant risk of treading in dog poop when strolling around Tbilisi. Fortunately, though, I didn't come across any in Batumi. Furthermore, unemployed retired men in Batumi frequently play stone games in parks to amuse the elderly. People in Batumi are generally silent on the streets, possibly because they don't think paying for water is important. They can get all the water they need for free. Almost every park includes a fountain, and to improve the city's aesthetic appeal, a unique park with water performances has been constructed. You may take pictures like the woman I saw, capturing the moment, and enjoy these water displays, which have brilliant illumination at night. You should go to Batumi with a companion if you like shooting pictures and getting photographed. You'll want to take pictures of the city's many lovely features. Throughout Batumi, walls are decorated with a variety of creative patterns and Georgian flags. Georgians adore flying their flags everywhere and are fiercely patriotic. Batumi's beach season usually lasts from mid-May to mid-October, with July and August being the busiest months. Overwhelmed by the city's heat, some people put on their shorts and bikinis and jump into the ocean. Unfortunately, walking on Batumi's beaches is challenging since they are stony rather than sandy. While residents may be used to swimming in these circumstances, visitors who opt to swim in the water during this time of year run the danger of being ill. The inhabitants of Batumi are among its most lovely features. Both their look and demeanor are favorable. Everyone you come into contact with is always grinning. This venue brings together people from all backgrounds who love speaking and having fun, even if store owners and business people may grin at you since you are a possible customer. When they see your camera, some even pose. If you approach them to become friends, you'll probably get positive answers. You may play billiards or ping pong for free in an open area in the parks close to the beach. You can challenge someone you don't know to a game if you're good at either sport. You won't find ping pong and pool on the streets in every nation. As an alternative, you may use the sporting goods found in parks around the Batumi coast to work out professionally for free. This is undoubtedly one of the fantastic chances offered by the local government. Additionally, bike-only lanes have been installed on both main and coastal routes. Bicycle lanes are indicated by a red line on major routes. To keep the bike lanes open for bicycles, there are conspicuous signs on the coastal routes to deter people from entering them. Tbilisi, the capital city, has a different taxi scenario than Batumi. Similar to Tbilisi, Batumi does not have a taxi metering system. As a result, it's crucial to bargain with the taxi driver before boarding. If not, once you get to your location, drivers could establish an arbitrary fare. In addition, Batumi's taxis are available in a range of hues, such as purple, white, green, and red. Because of this, it is difficult to tell cabs apart from ordinary cars. The taxi symbol on a car's roof is the sole way to identify it as a taxi. The Autonomous Republic of Adjara appears to have little regulations pertaining to taxis. Therefore, anybody can pretend to be a taxi driver by placing a taxi sign on their own car. Tourists may be concerned about this circumstance since it increases the likelihood of being overcharged in a city without meters. In Batumi, taxi drivers usually drive big sedans, particularly Toyotas like the Prius. Vehicles that cause trouble in traffic are often stopped by police, who then impose penalties. Georgian license plates include the Georgian flag and the English letters G and E. With barely 200,000 people living there, it is hardly unexpected that the city lacks a metro system. The city is unlikely to develop into a metropolis in the future. Rather, it seems like the goal is to keep Batumi a hotel and casino city. Residents are therefore dependent on Blue City buses for transportation, but just beyond the city lies a rail system. You won't have to put up with outdated, chaotic minibuses or put up with impolite, careless drivers if you choose to get from Batumi to Tbilisi. Alternatively, you can go to Batumi or another Georgian city by using Georgia's train network. Similar to Tbilisi, Batumi is home to a large number of musicians and street performers, some of whom produce quite lovely music. You could think about making a donation to them if you're feeling generous. Many residents in Batumi set up kiosks along the streets to sell fresh fruits and fruit drinks, either alone or in groups. You may simply start selling orange juice or sliced fruits by putting up a kiosk close to the beach if you're unemployed in Batumi. Since practically everyone has entered this industry, this business is tremendously profitable. A small glass of orange juice usually costs about €2 along the coast. For instance, you may get some cheesy pastries and a glass of orange juice from the many pastry shops on almost every street if you're hungry. You are unlikely to get lost on street signs because the English translation is always located just beneath the Georgian text. My friends, Batumi is a very reasonably priced travel location. For example, a big bag of chips costs 3 Georgian lari. The majority of items at Georgian supermarkets typically cost between €1 and €2. For instance, a carton of 10 eggs costs €3, while loaded sausages cost 12 liters or €4.05 L, or around €1 can get milk for around €1.50. Similar to those in Tbilisi, paybox booths in Batumi enable online bill payment and Bitcoin transfers. Despite their seeming fragility, these booths appear to be in good working order due to their regular use. However, you probably won't need these ATMs if you're only passing through. You may simply use your credit card to purchase at markets in Batumi, and there are several exchange offices every 50 meters where you can exchange any currency for Georgian lari. For local purchasing, cash transactions are also practical. It is noteworthy that Batumi does not have a sizable public market. You must go to stores run by neighborhood sellers or supermarkets if you want to purchase fruits and vegetables. This concludes the video. I appreciate you watching. Farewell.